nice and smart, tucked or pulled up, sitting nice and straight. Well done. And now we've got the hang of coming into assembly. We just keep that up. So, today we're going to be looking at a special day that's actually happening in a couple of days. But I thought I'd introduce you to this. Has anybody heard of Roald Dahl? It's a funny spelling, okay, but you pronounce it Roald Dahl. Keegan?
I've read his book.
Oh, so you've read his book. So what does that make him? What does that make him, Cody?
An author.
An author, okay? Hands up who's heard of Roald Dahl. So do you think he's quite a famous author? Yeah. And what kind of books do you think he writes? They're horror, fantasy, romance. Are they aimed at children? Are they aimed at adults? Are they aimed at toddlers? What kind of author is he? Debate. What's the answer? Did you hear?
I don't have my hand up. I was just.
Oh, you were just stretching. Okay. Right. So, what kind of author do you think he is, Lily?
I think he's a child author.
Pardon?
I think he's a children's author.
A children's author. Does he write funny stories, scary stories?
Funny stories.
Yeah, they're quite funny, aren't they? He's got a really, really nice way with language. So, Roald Dahl Day is celebrated on his birthday. He was born on the 13th of September, 1916. Wow, that was a long time ago. Okay? So, Roald Dahl Day isn't today, okay? It's on the 13th, but I thought I'd just introduce it to you. So we're going to understand why we celebrate the day. We're going to understand why he's still regarded, okay, as one of the greatest authors for children's books. We're going to learn some facts. Right, so, little test. We're going to try and reveal a character, and you're going to try and guess what one of Roald Dahl's characters these are. Okay? So, oh. I have to click on the... Do you want to click on the... Okay. To reveal it. Ooh. Any guesses? Yes. What do you think? Hands up who agrees. Can we reveal all, please? Well done! My goodness, on the first square as well. Right, let's do the next one. What do you think? Charlie from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Anybody agree? Oh, not so many. Let's reveal one more. Do we still think it's Charlie? Hands up?
Yes.
Okay, let's reveal all. Brilliant, well done. So why is Charlie so memorable? Why is it important, okay, to remember him?
It's because he was the kindest boy in the
Competition, wasn't it? Yeah, he was very kind, wasn't he? Anything else, Riley?
I think it was Orwell's first popular book.
Was it? Oh, that's a fact that I've learned. What do you think, Jaden?
I think it's special because his family didn't really have a lot of money,
did, didn't he? Yeah? Lucy?
I think it's special because he was so kind and for his birthday he just got a chocolate bar just tried to get the golden ticket because he would love to see the factory.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Right, let's move on. Ooh, next one. Let's reveal one. Ooh, Lily?
Matilda? Wow.
Matilda? Hands up who agrees that this is Matilda. Oh, not the whole group. Let's reveal another one. Maya? You think it's Matilda? Anybody else agree? Josh?
I think it's also Matilda, but her principal of her school.
Ah, so you think the book is Matilda, but the character is actually the principal. Does anybody know the name? I think Lucy's just about to burst. Lucy?
Mrs. Thumbleberry.
Is it Mrs. Thunderberry? What is it? What is it? Shall we have a look and see if it is? Well done. Quite a scary character. And obviously nothing like her or Mrs. Stokes, eh? Right. So, last one. Oh, I just forgot. Why is she so memorable? Why is she so memorable? Keegan?
Because she was in a very famous book and
She was in a very famous book, so that's one reason. Riley? Oh, wow, she was, wasn't she? But why do you think she was memorable? Why do people remember her when they've read the book? She wasn't a very nice person, was she? Mm? Yeah? And sometimes we read a book and we think, oh, I don't like that person, I don't like their characteristics. And you remember it. Right, we're going to have to move on. So we're just going to have this last character. I hope lots of you are going to be reading Roald Dahl books now to look at these characters. What do you think? Pardon? Chocolate cake? Do you think it's... We've already had a Matilda character, haven't we? Lucy?
Mr. Twit.
Who agrees? Who agrees? Should we do one more reveal? Oh my goodness. Do you think it's Mr. Twit?
Yeah.
Yeah, shall we reveal all? So, why do we remember Mr. Twit? Maya? It was disgusting, wasn't it? Yeah. And some of you might be going, I can relate to that. Most of you will be like, no, no, it's far too smelly. Okay? So, we've got these characters, and actually, as a group, we all were able to reveal the character because of his writing and his fame, really. So, his characters are larger than life with unusual names, disgusting habits, and special abilities. And I'm sure you can think of a few characters linking those up. He always introduces us to a hero and makes us hope for them to have a happy ending. Even his worst, most horrid characters are always full of humour. What does humour mean? Cody? Funny. Okay? Roald Dahl has a unique way of writing children's books because they were usually told from the point of view of a child. And maybe when you're reading those books, you might be able to agree with that. They usually involve adult villains who hate and mistreat children and feature at least one good adult. been translated into many languages, and children from all over the world enjoy them, even though some of his most popular books are now over 50 years old. Wow. So, why is Roald Dahl still loved today, even though his books are over 50 years old? This is the beauty about language, and this is one of the reasons why you study literature and you look at your literacy lessons and you really study language within it, okay? You can paint a picture with words. You just need to close your eyes and you can imagine what is going on in the book. And he had this real ability to do that. He could make the eerie seem eerier. The strange seem strange. There was a lot of strange in this book, wasn't there? And make the most gruesome things sound absolutely horrid. So, Roald Dahl was born on the 13th of September 1916 in Llandaf, hope I pronounced that right, in Wales. And there's a picture of him. He went to school in Wales, but he got into trouble too many times. His mother sent him to a boarding school in Western-super-Mare. Then he attended Cambridge University, but he wanted adventure, hands down for us. Then he came to Africa, and after the Second World War broke out, he enlisted in the Royal Air Force and became a pilot. So he had a very exciting life, didn't he? Okay. Roald Dahl was posted to Libya. However, his plane crashed in the Western Desert in North Africa, and he actually suffered quite a few injuries to his head and his back, and he had to stay in hospital in Egypt for 6 months. A long time. He went back to the RAF, and then he had headaches, so he had to come back to the UK, and he couldn't fly anymore, because you can't fly, you suffer from headaches. Shortly after this, Rolf met a famous author, so another famous author, called C.S. Forester, who suggested that he write about his career and his plane crash. And actually, this was the start of his writing career. 1951, he married, went to live in Buckinghamshire, had 5 children. One of them was very, very sick and died at the age of 7 from measles. So he started telling fantastical stories to his children at bedtime. He realised how much his own children enjoyed the stories and decided to write them all down for children to enjoy. And we're glad he did, aren't we? Okay. So by the 1990s, Roald had more than 20 best-selling children's books, and many have been made into programs, plays, and films. Okay, has anybody seen any of the films? Katrine, what can you? Matilda, and it's a musical as well. Maya? BFG. That's come out a few years ago, didn't it? Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes, that's a lovely one. That was a couple of years ago as well, wasn't it? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And those are his quite famous ones. And see, these are all, or some of his most famous characters as well. So, September is Roald Dahl's birthday month, and each year we celebrate with lots of wonderful events. So you might see that some schools have dress-ups, some have celebrations, okay, and it's the 15th annual day for this. Right, okay. So, why not let Roald Dahl inspire you? So, don't gobble funk around with words. That's a funny word, isn't it? Gobble funk. But he did that, didn't he? He played about with words and made new words, which are fun and exciting that you can use. then we have a nice little quote here. So please, oh please, we beg, we pray, go throw your TV set away, and in its place you can install a lovely bookcase on your wall. So I'm going to leave the assembly just there so we can think about those words. Okay? So, Lucy, what's up?
When my dad was little, he was about 5 years old. Roald Dahl read 2 chapters of Charlie Chocolate Factory to him.
Wow.
It was on book day.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's really amazing. So, I'm going to leave this slide up, okay? But we've got a very special announcement. I'm going to ask Mrs. Noble to come and stand at a socially distant away, and I'm going to be asking 6 children to come up. Now, when you come up, there is some sanitizer here. I'm going to ask you to sanitize your hand and then pick up your house captain badge. Okay? Please be careful when you're walking down the aisle that you're not touching, okay, or near anybody as you're coming up to present. And you can do a virtual handshake with Mrs. Noble. Okay? Right. Excuse me. So, we're going to start off with Eagle. So, the 2 Eagle House captains are Riley and Maya. Virtual handshake, and then pick up your badges. So for this term, those are your Eagle House captains. Right, okay, so for Falcon, so let's get an order going on here. First thing you do is hand sanitize, collect your badge, then go to Mrs. Noble for your virtual handshake. So, Falcon, house captains, well done to Katrine and Andoni. And then finally, we have the Hawk house captains. Okay, so up you come Seth and up you come Luca. Well done, Hawk. Right, so we're going to be finishing in a second, okay, but first of all, have we got any birthdays in the last 2 weeks? No? Right, so I just want to say thank you for this assembly. Keep working hard. We're going to be having a changeover, so I would like you all to give a round of applause to Mrs. Wallier for being fantastic home teacher. She's moving on to year 5 next week. Okay, so thank you very much.